The conversation is going somewhere, hopefully in the direction that we want to lead it to. So when we're on the phone with a homeowner, what is our ultimate goal here? I mean, we could say to make an offer, right? But what does that mean? Someone that's called you, or maybe it's a yes text message or something like that. What's the ultimate goal? What are you trying to accomplish when you call them? So making an offer means filling out the agreement, sending it to them with your signature at the bottom. All right. So that's how it usually works in real estate, is you send the agreement already filled out. If you're the buyer guy, and you are, as a wholesaler or an investor, you're the buyer. So you're going to be filling out the paperwork as the buyer, and then you're going to send it over to them with your signature already on it. And you want it to be already discussed to the point where when they get the agreement, they understand what it is, and they see that you've signed it, and they follow suit and they sign it as well. I think it's important that we tackle the paperwork in such a way that we break it down and we understand what the paperwork says, how we fill it out, but also what important topics of discussion need to be had with the homeowner. One is, okay, the name of this document for everybody's reference here is the residential lease and option to purchase agreement. If we're looking at the lease option agreement, the residential lease and option to purchase agreement, today's date, we all know what today's date is, so we don't need to discuss that with the homeowner for sure. We all know what our name is, so we don't need to ask the homeowner that. Hey, right out of the gate, the first two answers, we're all good. We all know what those are. Okay, the landlord seller. Is there anything that I need to discuss with the landlord regarding his name?
Yeah, sometimes it's different from the one on title.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Homeowner, who's on the deed to the house, and how do I spell their name? Oh, well, that'll be me and my wife. My name is Richard Dawkins, and her name is Sandra Dawkins. Okay. Well, how do I spell Dawkins? Is that D-A-W? Okay. Right. So that's something you're going to want to know. Don't be in too much of a hurry to not ask. If you don't ask questions like that, it may indicate to the homeowner that you are in a hurry, or maybe you don't know what you're doing and they lose confidence in you. Okay, take your time to make sure you're getting the right information. It'll build confidence in your homeowner that you know what you're doing. He cared enough to figure out how to spell my last name. Mr. Homeowner, it looks like the property address is 123 Apple Cart Way, Dalton, Georgia, 85407. Is that correct? Okay, I've got that right. All right. There's not like a north or a south or anything I'm missing. Okay. And it's a street, right? Not an avenue or a drive. Okay, great. All right, we're good. Okay. You might need to actually take the time to talk about that with the homeowner, and it's okay to. Okay. All right. You literally never hear me or Claude or anyone else in a role play or in a live call that we put out on YouTube. You never hear us leave that in the conversation. But yeah, sometimes we just have to work out the address. Okay. All right. What's the next thing here on the contract? We slide down now we're into the lease section. Okay. And you've heard me lead off with this question before I even asked the two questions we just went through, which is the seller's name and the address of the property. You've heard me talk about the rent first. Mr. Homeowner, now what's the comfortable monthly rent that covers your PITI, your payment, your interest, your taxes, insurance? What's the comfortable monthly amount there? Okay. You're gonna have to ask. Okay. I've had students get off the phone and say, yeah, this guy's motivated. I'm like, how much rent? Oh, I don't know. I didn't ask. Well, that's okay. I'll just look it up on Zillow and I'll put in what the Zestimate is. Don't do it. Just ask. Okay. Ask just like I did. Mr. Homeowner, what's the comfortable amount monthly for the rent? Okay. Now, when he gives his answer, if it's not a crazy answer, I want you to say the following. Okay, Mr. Homeowner, if I put that in the agreement here, or if I put that in my offer here today, is that the number you're comfortable with moving forward with me? Okay. You see, I'm locking him down with a commitment every step of the way here. Okay. Number 2, the lease term. Once I've established the rent, I go to the lease term. Mr. Homeowner, you said $1,800 a month in rent. Is that for, is a 24-month lease okay before we give you the full asking price? It's not. Okay, what is comfortable? 12 is okay. Well, Mr. Homeowner, Mr. Homeowner, if I were able to put 12 months with an optional 6-month extension in the offer today, is that something you're comfortable with? Can we move forward with that? Do you see how the structure pattern of my sentencing is just the same every stair step? Okay, and I lock him down, I get a commitment, and I take that topic off the table. What's the next topic? Okay, well, finding out the term is a big topic because that's going to fill in a couple more blanks later on in the contract. But the next topic is actually, let's skip maintenance and go down here to purchase price. I usually skip maintenance. I'll come back to it. Mr. Homeowner, it looks like you're asking $199,000 on Zillow. Is that right? Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Well, how'd you arrive at that number? Oh, okay. If it's not too crazy, I'm going to say, Mr. Homeowner, if I put $199,000 in my offer to you today, is $199,000 the number that you're comfortable with moving forward with me today? Lock it down, take it off the table. Okay. I already know the answer to number 5 down here, option period. It's the same exact as the lease term we just covered in number 2. Okay. So the option period, I already know it's going to be for 12 months with an optional 6-month extension. According to what I just negotiated in number 2 up here, the lease term, the option term is going to be exactly the same. Okay. Come back here to maintenance right now. Here's how I ask the maintenance question. Mr. Homeowner, how would you like the maintenance on the home to work? Would you like to be in charge of handling the maintenance, or would you like us to take care of it all? Or would you like the tenant buyer? Or would you like the good folks I put in there? Would you like anyone else to take care of it? Or are you wanting to do it, sir? I don't care what he says, to be honest with you. I really don't care what he says. Okay, let's assume he says, yeah, I want them to take care of it. I don't want to take care of anything. Okay, what is my response going to be? Somebody tell me. Okay, you've established a pattern now. Somebody tell me, what is the pattern? What am I going to say to this guy? Anybody? If, Mr. Homeowner, if I put in my offer today that the tenant and buyer of the house here, the tenant buyer will take care of all of the maintenance on the property during that lease term. That way you don't have to do any routine maintenance. If I put that in our offer to you today, is that something that makes you feel comfortable? Can we move forward with that today? You see, it's the same verbiage over and over and over. I'm locking him in. Okay. I'm locked that in now. I'm taking it off the table. Okay. That's done. All right. Now let's go back to the contract. We're almost done, everybody. Option consideration. If this is down payment, so to speak, to the homeowner. Okay. If they do not bring it up, I don't bring it up. I am not about to say, Mr. Homeowner, how much money can I give you? Okay. I do not bring up number 6 unless they bring it up. If they bring it up, then I have to discuss it. Hopefully I can get it negotiated low enough that it's still a deal. All right, on a lease option. But if they don't bring it up and I don't bring it up and the conversation ends, I might just delete number 6 altogether. I might highlight it and hit the delete button. Boom, gone. Okay. Number 7, rent credits. I'm going to need to talk about rent credits. Here's how I say it, Mr. Homeowner. If I were to make up the offer here today where the rent is just rent and it doesn't apply to the purchase price at all, it doesn't reduce the purchase price, it's just rent. Is that something that makes you feel like this is a little more comfortable and we could move forward? I use it as it's just a selling point. Okay. If I were to do this, Mr. Homeowner, okay. If you let me say this. This is a big sentence here, everybody. I hope you catch this. If you start your conversation now on this topic or any other like it, like this, Mr. Homeowner, here's what we're going to do. We're going to set this up where the rent is just rent and it's not going to come off the purchase price. I've heard people say it like that. You just gave it away. You gave it away. Do not ever give anything away. Always put the word if in front of it. If I were to do this, are you more comfortable? Are you comfortable with that? If I were to do that, are you comfortable with this? Okay, we're not in the selling business like we're giving stuff away here. Like, hey, everybody, come over, step right up, step right up, step right up. We're giving away rent credits here. You can have this deal with no rent credits. How you like me now? No, not like that at all. If I put in the agreement today that the rent is just rent, does that make you feel a little bit better about things too, Mr. Homeowner? I'm using it to my benefit if I use the word if. If I fail to use the word if, then I'm just giving it away. Okay. So let's share screens again and we'll wrap this up. All right. Closing costs, the same thing. Mr. Homeowner, if, okay, here's what I've heard students do. They say this, they say, Mr. Homeowner, don't worry about it. We're going to take care of the closing costs for us, our side, and we'll also take care of them for you. Okay. We're full service. No. Stop that. Smack your hand. Do not give that away. Mr. Homeowner, if I were to cover my side of the closing costs and you were to cover your side of the closing costs, does that seem fair? And can we move forward on that topic that way? Well, I was hoping you would pay for both yours and mine. I'm not going to pay any. The buyer can pay for my closing costs. Okay, Mr. Homeowner, you drive a hard bargain, sir. You are one heck of a negotiator. If I were to put in the offer here today that we will cover on my side of the deal here, the tenant buyer will cover our closing costs and yours. If I do that today, are you comfortable enough with that to move forward? I'm not giving away anything here. I'm using it to tie him in. Okay. The next thing, right to cancel. I like to set this number here as far out as possible, which means the same day as like the day that we're going to do this. So if today is June 20th, I'm probably going to set this up for August 1st. That's what I'm going to try for. Okay. But I'm okay with going for July 20th or even July 15th or something like that. Okay. But I'm definitely gonna try to get as much time as possible. Okay. And besides that, we're talking about signatures. Now, Mr. Homeowner, I believe I have everything that I need to fill out this agreement, Mr. Homeowner. If I send you this agreement just exactly as we've discussed just now, if I send it to your email, what is your next steps?